To the one who conjures down, who all things here brings out, to his leaf tender-footed here, and dance, cobra, dance. The hypostatic heaven world above is related to the hierophantic, priest or ritual, world below in the idolatrous or existing sense by something like magic. The natural chains of cause and effect have to be somewhat reversed in the descending dialectics implied here. At the lower levels of realism, the higher abstractions emerge with various names and forms in the multiplicity of creation. But in every creation there is a revertive unitive principle of the invisible and the supreme which participates and neutralizes the multiple and many named into the uniate. This theory, which we have developed throughout our earlier chapters, is illustrated here by an apt instance wherein the Guru expounds some of the aspects of the mystical doctrine. The familiar image which is evoked is that of an Indian juggler who is also a snake charmer. Sometimes the juggler materializes a mango tree, as if drawing it into being on earth with sweeps of his arms from above downwards. The serpent that belongs to the same mysterious or magical setting of the Absolute is representative of the self-seeking emancipation. An understanding of the whole situation can be gained by closely adhering to existing realities, here symbolized by the magician's feet. The holy feet of God or Shiva, this being the lowliest or ultimate earthy aspect of the human form which is accessible or amenable in terms of human behavior, touching the feet of the Lord. From lettered charm of Shiva praise, to every formula of truth, even from sound do they come out, so, dance, cobra, dance. Namah is the five-lettered, syllabled, sacred charm which is given to a disciple as the password and motto which the disciple has to treasure as his lifetime secret. This is the holy mantram which is obtained after many years of disciplinary trials. There are other mantrams, but all gain their potency in their common affiliation to a basic truth. Sound is such a basic principle. Sound that is heard meets, mingles and coalesces with the sound that is of the inner ear. And both together form what is here referred to as the principle of sound, a principle in which all names and forms, letters and their audible sounds or even their meanings have their being. Nominalism and phenomenalism can be fitted into this basic meeting point when the principle of sound is conceived neutrally. That is to say, conceived as between its perceptual and its actual aspects, as intended in this verse. All secret teachings such as that suggested here are meant to reveal the numinous absolute through sound. 10,000 millions, of that Ananta snake art thou. Thy million hoods then open out, and dance, cobra, dance. Ananta is the snake of the Vishnu symbology representing eternity, and not, or, without, anta. By the multiplication of such an idea of endless time, eternity as a new quality of time emerges. It becomes qualitative instead of quantitative. Adisesha, which means, first remaining, or, ever remaining in the eternal present, is another snake which is an emergent mystical quality independent of duration. Present, past or future lose their meanings in the bliss of the eternal now, as Plotinus would call such a moment. This moment now being full of joy, the Guru calls upon this timeless principle of pure duration so that self-bliss may be enjoyed. The million hoods mean the many-sided appraisal of the eternal now in the universe, and not mere subjectivism which is lost in the past or the future in a closed or individual sense. This body here no truth it has, owner another and it resides. Such wisdom do thou gain, and thus, dance, cobra, dance. This mortal coil, as the body has been called by Shakespeare, is divided into more and more centralized zones of subjectivity, like the successive layers of peel of an onion. These zones, concentrically arranged, are graded from the gross to the subtle, from the physiological to the psychological. The deeper seats of consciousness have their cosmic counterparts such as moonlight or starlight. whose beauty and presence is appraised by subtle senses or a globally artistic sensibility to beauty. It is here in these inner zones that the personality attains its full spiritual stature as an abstract principle. Just as when we say, "The kingdom of God is within you," the introspective approach to metaphysics is an inevitable part of the method of Advaita Vedanta, which speaks of 5 koshas, or sheaths, beginning from Annamaya and up to Vijnanamaya. From food-formed outermost sheath, to the subtlest innermost ground of all intelligence. Uniting body and owner too, radiant, who abides as one, such there is to know, as well, so. Dance, cobra, dance. Understanding the double nature of the body on one side and its subtler counterparts on the other side, is one step in knowledge. There follows the further step of treating this dialectical pair unitively. To know the terms of an equation in mathematics is one step, and to actually perform the equation, arriving at a result, is another process. But these two phases are neither mutually exclusive nor are they contradictory. Duality as a supposition is abolished in non-dual awareness, thus indicating two steps in a contemplative method whose result is the final triumph of self-realization as a central experience. Daham is the body, Dahi is one who occupies the body, the agent or subject thereof. What swallows all, with rival none, such is the omnipresent word, which swallow thou, and steadily. Dance, cobra, dance. Having traced the absolute to the principle of sound and noted how reciprocal aspects meet conversely and reversely in the manner of the terms of an equation, it is not hard to see that the word, conceived in terms of nominalism or conceptualism, can imply and contain the pure principle of the absolute of the Vedanta. The word can include all reality in one conceptual synthesis of the self-contemplative act. This act is compared in this verse to swallowing, as if intuitively making one's own the essence of a syllable such as aum, with all its philosophical implications correctly understood in its Advaitic or non-dual context. As part of the science of Brahma Vidya, which we have tried to outline in previous chapters, consuming all the words there are, as the supporting wall for all, even on such do take thy stand, and dance, cobra, dance. The universally existing, which is the prime substance, is both transcendent and immanent as the basic support of all that can be conceived. No picture can be seen without a wall. A canvas is needed for a painting. The screen is needed for a cinema film. Similarly, the experience of the mystical state becomes possible only when there is a mainstay. This is the supporting wall. The phrase here is commonplace in the ordinary language of South India. But elsewhere such popular wisdom lives on the fringes of life or has to be sought out with trouble. This maintaining, supporting wall is the sat or the satam as explained in the Bhagavad Gita in its extended meanings and implications, comprising values, realities and existence. The word sat is used in the sense of existence and of goodness, and so also, zero partha. The word sat is used in the sense of a praiseworthy act. Steadfastness in sacrifice, austerity, and gift bestowing is also called sat, and even action for the sake of that is called sat. From very name this great expanse, and even earth as well did come, as a presentiment in thought, so, dance, cobra, dance. The Guru abolishes this final idea of universal substances by relating them directly to their concrete seeming counterparts, such as the earth and other empirical realities, and by reducing all to the terms of nominalism. Such a nominalism sums up rather than contradicts the notion of the absolute. Name is the last dividing factor keeping subject and object apart. When the nominative factor is removed and the last trace of division dispelled, then self-realization reigns fully. Beyond this there is pure consciousness alone.